take us back to the PGA Championship last week. That was something special.
Yeah, I've been working with Scottie since he was 14, 15 years old. And so I've been pretty lucky. It's kind of for me Groundhog Day because I started working with Jordan Spieth around 15. Both guys from Texas, both great junior golfers, both national champions at University of Texas, both majors, both number one in the world. So kind of Groundhog Day. I've been very blessed and grateful to work for these two guys, great golfers and also great guys off the course. And with Scottie, I had like a goal with him. Like I said, I've been able to control everything with him from his training, his nutrition, his recovery, everything you can think of in the performance pillars of golf. And as it's well documented, he had a bad back in college, and I kind of got lost control at that point because he was in college and I was traveling on the PGA Tour, and it finally came to a point where he had to pull out of a tournament because of you know his bad back. And Scotty Senior drove Scotty Junior to my office on a Saturday afternoon, and that was kind of the trigger. That was like, hey, if you want to continue playing golf and at a high level and on the PGA Tour, you got to start taking care of yourself off the golf course. And that kind of triggered Scotty, and that's kind of what started everything. Um, so yeah, I look at Scotty, a young Scotty, because I've always been a big fan of Dustin Johnson. Big, tall guy, moves very well, very powerful. So, and I've told Scotty this too. That's always what I wanted to do with him. Is you've got the same body type. I want you to be like Dustin, a very powerful golfer, because golf is power now, but somebody who moves well.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what we put into play. We had to start from scratch. We had to build a good stability, mobility foundation for him. And I do a lot of functional training with him, which is monotonous. He gets bored sometimes, but I want him to move, and I want him to move well, and obviously prevent injuries. Looking at the PGA Championship, looking at the beginning of the year, we all know he had the hand surgery. We're 2 months behind the 8 ball here, and we pushed him pretty hard. Probably about a month ago, he's like, "Hey," and he has lost some speed, he has lost some distance, and because we can do a lot of upper body strength, it is
Hmm.
what it is.
Hmm.
And so we pushed pretty hard, and he's great. He's probably the most coachable athlete I've ever worked with. Always wants to get better, always asks questions. As we all know, he loves to compete, he loves to win. So yeah, we put a plan in place, and he's been spot on with it. It's always people ask me, like, obviously we all saw what happened in the front nine compared to the back nine. It was like a Jekyll and Hyde golf, but and they ask you how is Scotty like that? Most guy crash and burn, and I said, I don't know the answer to that. I obviously innate, it's in him. He's able just to keep looking in the front mirror, and then look in the rear view mirror, and just forget about things. He's got a short term memory, and for him, under the pressure, with the expectations in a major, able to turn his swing around and actually figure it out in the back nine was pretty cool. It was very stressful. Um, I kind of like, as I work with the Dallas Stars hockey team, and all the guys obviously were excited about it. And it's like, he's 5 shots up. He's going to win this. I'm like, guys, you don't understand. This is a major. Anything can happen. And sure enough, it happened. Um, but you know what? He did a good job. I mean, I got up, started walking around the house, started pacing. But yeah, once he hit that tee shot on 10, I was like, okay, here
Yep.
we go. You have that gut feeling. I look at him, how he moves in the golf swing. How is his body moving in the golf swing? Is he getting to the top of the swing? Is he, setting that right hip? Is he creating that transition coming down? Like, I'm a nerd when looking at biomechanics. I'm a nerd at looking at human movement patterns. And what people don't know, beginning of the week, we had a bit of a hiccup. His back was not healthy,
Mm.
and there was a lot of discussions behind the scenes. I was literally in Winnipeg, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I get a call, and it's Scotty is like, "Hey man, my back's not really good." So we hired a therapist to help him on the road when I'm not on the road, and 15-20 minute powwow. What's going on? What do you see? So we completely abolished the workout program we had from that day, and we put in more of a kind of a movement pattern, teaching how to hinge patterns, control the pelvis. Yeah, it was, and I'm sitting literally at lunch, coming back from the rink before morning practice, And it was, it was good. We got him under control. Obviously Thursday was okay, going into Friday, Saturday, and yeah, it was a lot of things go behind the scenes that people don't see. But obviously beginning of the week, I'm like, great, major champion,
Hmm.
back not so healthy. I'm not there. I'm obviously in Canada, but yeah, he was great. I said, "This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it." Um, and we got dialed in, and obviously the result was a win. So
Yeah, an unbelievable back nine he put together too. I mean, it
yeah,
was a little close for comfort there, and obviously Scottied and made it look pretty
yeah,
easy on the back. When you're watching as his coach and trainer, like you kind of mentioned it, but what are you specifically looking at? I know most people are just like, "Wow, he hits it long. Wow, he recovers great. His mental game is unprecedentedly good."
yeah.
What are you looking at as a coach? Is it speed? Is it like you said, different positions in the swing?
Yeah, it's for me. It's different positions in the swing. I know his body so well. I worked with Randy Smith for the last 20 years. I know how Randy looks at things. I know when he has two or three things in his swing, how he gets off. I know why physically. I know why. And that's huge. Like we every week if you go to the PGA Tour, most guys do workouts. They just do workouts, but there's no rhyme or reason. There's no objective.
Okay.
And for Scottie and mine, every workout during the week, there's an objective of what we want to accomplish that day. And he has a couple tendencies in his body that kind of every once in a while pops up, and we know how to address it and get rid of it really quick because it affects his swing. So yeah, I look at those things right away. I'm like, oh, here we go. And then people are looking at Randy. I don't know if you saw Randy in the range playing with his hips.
Hmm.
Okay, well, that's one thing. And so what we try to do in the gym and on the treatment table is to get the hips more mobile, especially the right side, and then Randy reinforce it in the golf swing. Because if he can't load into that right hip, he kind of what he kind of does is as he turns in. It's hard to explain from here, but if he's not loading to the right, he actually what's called a reverse tilt, and he starts
Hmm.
getting upper body towards the target. So then what he has to do, he has to back out of it, right? And so his misses are usually right, and that's the reason why. And as golfers, his hands are so good, he's missing right. So then he kind of flips the hands and now it's going left. So
Hmm.
then he's got double miss. So that's a big thing. And that's one of the things we work with him all the time. That is a daily thing we work with him. That's just how his body is. Right. And
Hmm.
so throughout the entire week, I'll look at his swing. I say, hey, I saw this in your swing, bop, bop, bop. Here's the four movement patterns I want you to do. Here's the three exercises I want you to do to reinforce a better hinge or better pelvic control, or be able to, load the right side better. And we've been doing that since high school, like literally been
Hmm.
doing that since high school. And he's 28 years old and we're still doing it. Because I take his body, I know his golf swing, I reverse engineer it, and I take the patterns and move it and put it into the gym to just we're not going to get rid of 100%, but if it's minimal, he's good enough where he can get to the golf swing.